welcome back everyone to Mark Holbus the vlog. That's right, first vlog in 2021. Thought we should start it out with a bang, and I thought I would set the tone, everybody, about what today's video is about. Obviously today's Sunday, first weekend after New Year's Eve, and I hope everybody had a great party and stayed safe and stayed healthy. But I do want to show you guys a little bit about what I do and what we do as a family. We have a second property out here, as you can see right behind me here. We have this little getaway. It's about an hour west of the city of Edmonton where we normally reside, but we like to get out here because we're able to do a bunch of fishing and we do camping and we basically hide out here and do some quadding, and in the summertime we do boating, and we do a lot of things, even just playing games and playing in the snow and little projects and things like that. But I want to walk you through this. I want to give you a little bit of a tour today about the place that we call home, or our second place away from home. Essentially, this is a place that we really do like to kind of wrap it all up and spend that time during Christmas, New Year's, and selective times throughout the year with the family. It's a great getaway, and it really does bring to light that regardless of what we do during our day-to-day, work, and we have cars, and we play and do all those things, you still do need to understand the family side of it. You do need to put some quality time away for the family and all of that, so that you can really just reflect and honestly get ready and revved up and essentially rejuiced for the year coming up. Because obviously, as we get into the routine throughout the year, things get hectic, it gets busy, and it gets very exciting. But I just want to show you guys where I like to come back, reflect, spend some time away from the city when I'm not doing insane car stuff or really talking about all the car information. I do want to show you guys where I like to kind of hang my hat. Okay, let's get into it. And before we move on with today's video, I want to get into the comment for today, who is by Dr. Eric Sudicki. And he asked the question, "Hey Mark, really enjoying your videos. Is the exhaust note the same up to and including 2019? Well, let's talk about some of that." So great question. I'll tell you what I know, and then everybody else online, if you see the question, you can answer it. Definitely chime in. I'd love to hear your comments. But what I know is, first of all, the biggest differences go based on the models. And of course, whether you're driving a V6 or you're driving a V8R or a V8S or an SVR, they might have differences between the different exhaust systems. The big change came in the new 2020 or 21 model year here, where all of a sudden they reintroduced a new system and the quiet exhaust. So default start is quiet, whereas this current model year is loud, as you can check right here. But as you can see, this car always starts loud. And what I would suggest is, if you're gonna buy one of these cars, make sure you get one with a dynamic exhaust system, like you see right down here, where you can actually toggle it on and off right there, or you can go full dynamic mode, which gives you the full beans. So any of the older generation cars, like this one, for example, with the longer vertical headlights, you'll notice that these exhaust systems are typically very, very much the same. The big changes come with firmware updates. I've been getting a lot of feedback from viewers that say don't allow the dealer to do the firmware or the software updates, because apparently every time there's a software update, it quietens down the exhaust system, because a lot of that's done through programming. They put extra fuel into the exhaust and it makes that extra snapping and banging noise. But most of the purists who love the F-Type love it for that reason, because the snapping and the popping and the banging. So what I would suggest is try to resist getting some of those software updates, because all that's going to do is dial everything down a little bit. And honestly, the sounds are everything in these F-Types. That's what makes them so unique. And the real beauty is having these exhaust buttons on these cars are basically a Jekyll and Hyde. And that is the beauty too. Maybe you want that quiet moment. Maybe you're coasting into a neighborhood that's real. Well, you can turn the exhaust off and it basically goes just very muted. But then when you want to enjoy it, you can crank it wide open and enjoy the fruits and the sound of that luscious V8, supercharged V8 engine. So hope that answered the question for you. And be sure, if you guys want to get your comment identified on the next video, be sure to comment on this video here somewhere down below, and I'll be sure to pick one of those and you'll be hearing it on the next video. All right, let's get into it. Whoa! So first, as you can see, we got this great gate here, and I'm gonna start by just push this bad boy open here. All right. It's a little scrubby looking in the wintertime because, well, obviously we got a lot of snow on the ground, and you can see the tracks from the quad because we did some quadding this year already. Here we have a wood pile. There we have a trampoline for the kids in the summertime, but this is really the place that we like to get away and settle in for the cold time of the season. Obviously we have this A-frame home. Comfortable, not massive, but it is certainly comfortable. And as usual, the X5 gets us here reliably. And there's a couple of cars for my kids. Obviously, we have some kids hanging out here with us. Well, lo and behold, the garage is open. What do we have here? We're gonna fire this up in a few minutes. Obviously, I wanna share a little story for you. I just picked this quad up. It's a Kawasaki brute force. I love these things. They sound like it's a V-twin, essentially. Sounds almost like a Harley. I love the sounds of these. But unfortunately, this is actually a pretty solid unit. I picked it up from a guy that I actually used to work with. I didn't know he was selling it, coincidentally. I searched the classifieds and stumbled across this thing. And it turns out it was somebody that I worked with many years ago, 15, 20 years ago. Kind of got some of the history, and it seemed like they had some of the upgrades that were worth having on this thing. But anyway, let's move along. The unfortunate part is, why did I buy this? Because I also had a Kawasaki. I had another one right here. This is a V-twin 750, as you can see. Same thing right here. This was actually my machine up until about a year ago. Sadly enough, one morning we got up and we found ourselves broken into. These guys, somebody broke into our property, took it away, and lo and behold, they obviously brutalized this. This machine was absolutely showroom condition when we had it before because I take care of my stuff. And somebody came in here, decided this belonged to them, and they, sadly enough, they took it away, they wrecked it, and essentially the thing won't start now, and we're gonna see if we can piece it back together. Talk to my kids, maybe they wanna get involved in kind of a project. Local police called me about a month after it was reported stolen, said, "We found your quad, please go pick it up." So I did that, lo and behold, here it is. And we do have it back, but I don't know if it'll run. I mean, the thing was drenched in mud. It actually looks way better now than it did when I first got it. It was just coated in mud and crud. And actually just looking underneath here, it is actually just kind of a mess all the way around. This thing was actually in mint shape before. Look, it doesn't even have any headlights anymore. But look at this. Look, obviously, there you go. Missing parts. This thing is just a mess. So anyway, we're gonna try to get that fixed up and hopefully we can get it running again. And unfortunately, that was really my bad. We didn't leave the quad secure enough overnight. We sort of took it for granted. Things were kind of left all open and unlocked. Somebody decided to walk on in and just kind of scoop it up. But obviously, we had to make some changes since that time. So anyways, you look down the backyard here. This year we have added that little gazebo. We've got a nice little concrete pad, or essentially it's a brick pad down there. So it's a great place. Winter is set up in the summertime. And I'll be sure to let you guys know when we do some of our summer vacations out here. It looks totally different. Everything's green and grown in. I have all kinds of wildlife here. Look, some big footprints here. I don't know what that is. Lots of little footprints. We have cats and bunnies and all kinds of things. There's some more big prints. Obviously some larger animals through here as well. There's our gazebo. Well, like I said, spend some time back there. I've seen a lot of wildlife back here in my days as well, too. Been out here for about 8 years now, 7 years. And I've seen a lot of different animals. You can see there's quite a congregation in this area here, too. See? Pretty cool place back here. We just love to hang out here in the woods. It is just so majestic. And there's the back of the house, looking at it from the back side. Obviously off the master suite, look, we have this little patio up there. It's a great view, looking around at the trees and all the bush in there in the summertime. Nice place to just chill there out of the sun, because this is the north side. So it keeps the sun out of your eyes when you just want to relax. And of course, we have a walkout basement because it's essentially a 2-story plus walkout. So it's nice to be able to kind of just shimmy in and out of the house as well, straight out the back of the house. Say you want to spend some time here by the fire, have a little campfire. Very, very wide deck. We did this on purpose so that we have this overhang. Obviously, when it rains, prevailing wind and rain typically come from over there. typically come from over there. And with that said, this actually does a great job of stopping the rain, and we can actually sit out here and enjoy the scenery without getting rained on. This usually stays fairly dry, so it's kind of nice. Anyway, we'll move along. So we do this. Oh, this brickwork took a lot of time. This took the good part of a full season to get all this done because it had to be done all via scaffolding. There's lots and lots of this. There was multiple stages. You had to put the paper, the mesh, then you had to put the bricks, and then you had to put, then you had to put the scratch coat, then you put the bricks, and then you put the grout in between, and then you had to do some basic cleaning. Took a long time to get the stonework installed, like to the tune of pretty much a whole summer, as I say. And then out here, of course, this is our barbecue location. We have a barbecue tucked away, and you look here, great place for the fam just to chill right here. In the summertime, of course, when things are a little warmer. It's a little chilly out here right now. And there's that great view again, just from sitting up here. It's just a great place to hang out, honestly. A big part of this is just because it's so quiet. Listen. You can't hear anything out here. Sometimes in summer, sure, you'll hear the birds and you hear a little wind through the trees, but there's really no noise out here to speak of. It's so peaceful, so quiet. That's why we like it out here. But let's go inside the house. I'll give you a few little highlights. I'm not going to walk through the entire house because the fam's chilling right now and they just want to relax. Some of them are in pajamas. So let's do a little tour in the house right now. I'm not going to give a full tour. I'll give you a few of the highlight things that stand out for me, some of the elements that I really appreciate in that house specifically. So I'll give you a few little quick montage of that, and then we'll move on to go for a quick quad ride. Here, let's take a look. Hey buddy, what do you think? Do you like playing video games down here too? Mm-hmm. What's your favorite game?
NHL 21.
What is your other fun game?
Probably The Forest.
The Forest? Cool. Thanks again for joining in on this beautiful frosty winter day here in Alberta. If there's just a couple of things that I hope you guys take from this. Number one, and I've learned this over the years, and that's you need to take time. Take time for the family. Take time to do those little things, to play those games with the kids, to get out there and enjoy the smell of the roses and just get out there and enjoy the elements. So that's one thing that I do have to express. And if there's another thing that I've learned from all of this, guys, be sure if you're owning equipment like quads and all of that stuff, that you protect it. Obviously, protect yourself and your kids. I mean, ultimately, that stuff's all replaceable. But the best thing that I can advise you on is out of sight, out of mind. And of course, make sure you've got insurance on all your stuff. Again, don't worry about it. If somebody walks in, takes your stuff, that's one thing. And at the end of the day, none of it is as important as you, your health, and your family. So be sure to get the insurance coverage that will protect you from that perspective if somebody decides to take your stuff, even though they believe it's theirs for some reason. So thanks again, everybody. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'm definitely glad you guys joined in on our little winter excursion. And I hope you guys take some advice from that as well. We'll see you on the next one. And we hope to talk to you guys real soon, because on the next one, we'll be getting back into car business. So hope to see you guys soon. Catch you then. Bye-bye.